Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now, today's video, I'm going to be going over the ultimate manifestation guide. What you need to do in order to manifest your desired reality. Now, I have made quite a few manifestation videos on my channel, but I believe this is the ultimate manifestation guide on my channel. So I'm going to be talking about, what manifestation is, what manifestation is all about, what you need to do in order to manifest your desired reality, giving you a level down breakdown, step by step on what you need to do in order to manifest what you truly want in your life. So be sure to pay attention to this video, analyze this video, take some notes if you have to, and watch it till the very end. Right? So I believe this will be the best ultimate manifestation guide and the best breakdown of manifestation on the YouTube platform. So let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and get started. So before we get into the manifestation guide, before I dive deep in depth into the ultimate manifestation guide that I'm going to be giving you all, we have to establish one thing. All right. So in order to manifest your desired reality, in order to start manifesting the things that you truly want, the things that you want to acquire, and these sorts of different things, you have to be tuned to the right vibration slash frequency. Okay. You have to be tuned into that frequency, right? This goes into the law of attraction. This has a correlation with the law of attraction, right? Think of a radio station. You have the different radio stations, 101.1, 97.1, 101.5, 95.7. You have all these different radio stations. Okay. And each radio station is tuned to a specific frequency, right? You can relate this to the many different people in the world. There are 8 billion people in the world, but 8 billion people tuned in to different frequencies that are ultimately connected to the law of one, to the God consciousness, to the infinite, to the all, God, or whatever you want to call it. Okay. So everybody is resonate at a certain frequency. Everybody's in tune to a certain frequency. But it's up to us, the individual, you that's watching this video, you had to be tuned into that specific frequency, right, in order to manifest your desired reality. And I'm going to be explaining to you all and explaining in deep in depth how you can tune into the specific frequency. So you can do all the affirmations and visualizations all you want. But if you're not in the right headspace, okay, consciousness wise, for example, stuck in trauma slash addiction loops, not believing in yourself, et cetera, then all of this is not going to work out in your favor. Okay. So, let me just go into the manifestation guide because I don't want to get too ahead of myself. All right. So number one, you have to be vibrating on a high vibration. Right? What I essentially mean is positive energy flowing through you. Okay. So I know it's pretty difficult. It's pretty tough to, just be positive. It's very unrealistic for us to be positive and to be joyful and to be happy, in this chaotic world that we live in. But I'm essentially telling you that this has to be our main frequency. This has to be our main framework. Okay, so we are human beings. We are emotional beings. We are emotional creatures. So, based on, you know, small examples like the Earth's tides, the moon cycles, many other different things that are happening within the cosmos affect us on an emotional level, right? So we're going to be experiencing different emotions, throughout our lifetime. But it's important for us to, uh, to have some sort of emotional intelligence and have some sort of emotional balance. Taking the time to actually work on ourselves and to work on our emotional body, right? So all I'm essentially saying is this has to be our main framework. This has to be our main frequency, right? The positive, the light, the uh happy frequency, the positive frequency. This has to be our main frequency, our main source of frequency in order for us to manifest our desired reality. Okay? So this goes along with the map of consciousness slash the principle of mentalism. Now, I touched on the map of consciousness by David R. Hawkins a couple of times in my videos. So, based on our consciousness level, right, you have the top, which is enlightenment, and you have the lowest form of consciousness, which is shame. Okay, so in order for us to, experience the things that we want to experience, in order for us to manifest a certain way of life, a certain way of being, these sorts of different things, we have to raise our consciousness up to that level of being, to that level of reality. Okay, so there are many different realities that we can experience, many different types of energy, frequency, and vibration that we can experience based on our consciousness, right? So you have the principle of mentalism as well. So everything is consciousness. According to the principle of mentalism, everything is consciousness. Everything is mind, right? The universe was created through the mind, right? Uh Everything is mental, right? This deals with the principle of mentalism. Everything is mental, right? The universe is mental, and everything was created specifically when it comes to this, the universe was created through the mind. Okay, so this proves that God is conscious. So I'm going to be reading something from the Kabbalion that proves that everything is consciousness, that God is consciousness. Right? So I'm going to be reading from the Kabbalion, the Hermetic philosophy. So, but what indeed is the universe, if it be not the all, not yet created by the all, having separated itself into fragments? What else can it be? Of what else can it be made? This is the great question. Let us examine it carefully. We find here that the principle of correspondence, as above, so below, comes to our aid here. The old Hermetic axiom, as above, so below, may be present to service at this point. Let us endeavor to get a glimpse of the workings on higher planes by examining those on our own. The principle of correspondence must apply to this as well as to other problems. Let us see, on his own plane of being, how does man create? Well, first, he may create by making something out of outside materials. But this will not do, for there are no materials outside of the all, which is God, with which it may create. Well then, secondly, man procreates or reproduces his kind by the process of begetting, which is self-multiplication accomplished by transferring a portion of his substance to his offspring. But this will not do, because the all cannot transfer or subtract a portion of itself, nor can it reproduce or multiply itself. In the first place, there will be a taken away, and in the second case, a multiplication or addition to the all, both thoughts being an absurdity. Is there no third way in which man creates? Yes, there is. He creates mentally, right? So all this manifestation talk, all of these manifestation uh ideas and all these techniques, when other people on YouTube are talking about manifestation, ultimately when we are speaking about manifesting something, whether it be a significant other or just a more positive life, a more peaceful life, financial abundance, and these sorts of different things, everything all starts in the mind. All these things first are created in the mind. Okay. So like for example, so I stated earlier that God created the universe through the mind, right? The principle of mentalism. All is mind and the universe is mental. So God was able to manifest everything, the cosmos, the planets, the stars, solar systems, all different multiple universes because God is always creating. God never stops creating, right? So look at us for example, human beings for example. We are the microcosm of the macrocosm. So let's say a person is, you know, coming up with a recipe, right? Person is going to cook a specific dish, right? In the mind, the person is, thinking of what can I create? What kind of food can I fix for either for myself or for the family, right? So a person may, read some recipes on the internet, or a person may go on TikTok and, watch some videos on how to make a specific dish. All right. So the person is getting these ideas and person getting this inspiration through the mind, right? So you have this, so the person has all these specifics on what they want to do, which all this is created in the mind, right? So the person goes to the store, gets the supplies, gets the ingredients, gets the specific types of herbs and seasonings and these different things. Person drives home, prepares the food, cooks the food, and then either depending on the dish that they make, a few minutes later or a couple hours later, this specific dish, whether it be pasta or uh, some seafood boil or whatever it is, comes into fruition, right? You have the actual physical product. You have the actual food that's prepared for the individual and for the family if they have a family and whatnot. So this is an example of how we create things through the mind. Everything starts in the mind. Everything starts with an idea, right? So all human beings, we create things through the mind. That just shows that we are essentially miniature versions of God, right? In the physical realm, right? We're creating, we're manifesting every single day, and we don't even know it. We don't, acknowledge it, or we're just not aware of it, or we just take it. We take it. We don't, we take things for granted, right? We're creating and manifesting every single day. So this just shows how powerful we are, and how powerful the mind is. And in so doing, he uses no outside materials, nor does he reproduce himself, and yet his spirit pervades the mental creation. Following the principle of correspondence, we are justified in considering that the all creates the universe mentally, in a manner akin to the process whereby man creates mental images, right? Just like I said in that beginning, you get those ideas, you get those specific inspirations, ideas through the mind. All right, when creating music is another example. You get mental images and mental thoughts on how to, uh, put make a certain sound, or using a certain beat, or these sorts of different things. The type of instruments, the type of notes, the type of keys that you need to implement in a certain song that you are making. The all can create in no other way except mentally, without either using material, there's none to use, or else reproducing itself, which is also impossible. Just as you, student, may create a universe of your own in your mentality, right? We all exist in our own universe, right? That's why, you hear some people say, when they're talking about kids, kids running around or kids playing with toys, and you know, a lot of people say, they're in their own world, right? We're essentially we are in our own world. When we're by ourselves, when we're to ourselves and nobody's watching us, we may be listening to music and the music just takes us to another world, right? We embody our own universe, and we have the ability to shapeshift our universe and shapeshift our timelines and shapeshift our reality the best way we see it. So does the all create universes in its own mentality. But your universe is the mental creation of a finite mind, whereas that of the all is the creation of an infinite. The two are similar in kind, but infinitely different in degree. The universe and all of it contains is a mental creation of the all. Verily indeed, all is mind. Right? So that I just had to point that out. Very key that you guys understand that when we're trying to manifest anything in life, whatever it may be, it all starts in the mind. That's why it's important for us to do necessary work and to pay attention to what we feed into our subconscious, pay attention to what we feed into our mind as a whole, right? Take care of our mind, right? What are you feeding to your third eye? What are you feeding into your subconscious, right? Are you distracting yourself, or are you, you know, putting in helpful information, putting in healthy nutrition into your body, putting in, uh, you know, helpful information, helpful material, doing the shadow work, doing the ancestral work, whatever it is. What are you feeding into your mind, right? Because it's a battle for your mind, right? It's a battle for your consciousness. Everything out here, is trying to distract you from achieving your desired goals, achieving your desired dreams, and achieving your desired reality. So just be aware and be consciously aware of what you are doing. Be consciously aware of what you are consuming on a day-to-day basis, and always, stay disciplined. And whatever you're trying to achieve, whatever you're trying to accomplish, always know that you are capable of doing that with the power of the mind, with the power of the God consciousness. So number two, keeping yourself clean. So, for example, eat high vibration foods and avoid tortured meat. So, a lot of us, we may tend to believe that, we can manifest anything we want, and, just eat anything we want at the same time, right? That, people, some people may believe that the foods that they eat don't have an effect on their manifestation power. But this is quite the contrary. See, our bodies are electrical conductors, right? We are electrical beings. Like I mentioned earlier, we are essentially a radio signal. Think of your body as an antenna. Think of your body as a signal to the universe, a signal to the energetic grid, a signal to the all, the excuse me, the infinite. Okay, but when you are feeding your body unhealthy foods, when you are feeding your body poison, when you are feeding your body uh, GMO foods, lab grown foods, fake foods, you are essentially cutting yourself off to that energetic grid. You are essentially cutting yourself off to that infinite all, right? You can't receive the downloads and the messages, and you can't manifest certain things in your life, right? Utilize the law of attraction in your life when you're feeding your body foods that have no nutritional value. Okay, so I want to go just a little bit deep in depth into how consuming electrical foods, consuming live foods can help us energize our energetic bodies, or to enhance our energetic bodies to manifest what we want in our life. So this is the book Spiritual Nutrition in the Rainbow Diet by Gabrielle Cousin. So we have this thing called uh, subtle subtle organizing energy field, or subtle organizing energy field. Now, what is a subtle organizing energy field? All of us have a subtle organizing energy field. Humans do, animals do, plants do, all living things and non-living things. We all have a subtle organizing energy field around us. So a Subtle organizing energy fields are a template for the multiple levels of organization of living systems. So subtle organizing energy fields, or SOEFs, have both form and energy properties. SOEFs resonate with the unlimited virtual or cosmic energy, right? So once we do certain, have certain disciplines, do certain things to enhance our energetic bodies or enhance our subtle organizing energy fields, then that's when our aura, as most people like to call it, our aura, once we clean ourselves out and clear out all the toxins that exist within the body, when we clean our aura, we can basically attract what we want. That's why you see a lot of individuals who go on certain fasts, right? You have, certain figures like Moses in the Bible, Jesus, the Buddha, all these other different figures who have gone great deals into, gone great lengths doing 40-day fast, 21-day fast, doing these sorts of different things. They weren't just doing this for health reasons. They were doing this to connect themselves more to that energetic grid. They were doing this to connect themselves more to the universal all, to the infinite, to God, whatever you want to call it, right? So when you're fasting on a spiritual sense, you are essentially reconnecting yourself to that energetic grid, and that way you become more susceptible, you become more of an attraction, you become more of a magnet to attract certain things that you want to manifest. So when you are doing visualization meditations and these sorts of different things, it's easier for you to attract it versus when you are not taking care of your physical body, because we have to play because the physical realm and your physical self play a part in everything, because we are connected to the physical, mental, spiritual, and the emotional planes. And so when you're taking care of yourself physically, right? Because it plays a part, then that way, when we're doing these certain things, visualization, affirmations, these sorts of different things, it's able to come to us quicker, right? Because when we're not taking care of ourselves, this can create energy blockages within the chakras. The Kundalini energy is not able to flow freely throughout the chakras because there are certain blockages within the sacral chakra, the root chakra, and all these different chakras. There are energy blockages that keeps us from achieving that nirvana, that keeps us from achieving samadhi, keeps us from achieving that higher state of blissfulness, that higher state of being, not us, not being able to attract the finer things in life, right? These sorts of different things. So that's why, you know, if you don't have a healthy microbiome, because they said the gut is the second brain. So if you don't have a healthy microbiome, then, it has an effect on your nervous system as well. The nervous system plays a part in it as well. And the nervous system is connected to the heart chakra. So if your nervous system is all out of whack, then your reality is going to be all out of whack. So SOEFs resonate with the unlimited virtual or cosmic energy, and through resonance, transfer this energy to us through a series of step-down systems. As our body-mind complex becomes more spiritually transformed, it is easier for this energy to be directly transferred to us and for us to experience a direct resonance with the cosmic energy. So all nutrient elements have their own individual SOEFs, like I mentioned earlier. When SOEFs are energized, they maintain and strengthen both their organization and that of the physical body. This property allows us to resist and reverse the aging process we call entropy. And when this energy level of SOEFs is depleted by eating low energy foods and living energy depleting lifestyles, the SOEFs become less organized, resulting in increased entropy and aging. Right? So you know, that's why it's important for us to eat live energetic foods such as plants, fruits, vegetables, things of this nature. I have a video titled high vibrational foods versus low vibrational foods. I'll leave that link down in the description if you guys want to check that out. If you want to get some ideas on, what you should be eating. I might make an updated list pretty soon because that video is almost 2 years old. So my ideas on what to eat and what not to eat are kind of sort of different. So if you want to get some ideas on what to eat, what not to eat, and these sorts of different things, I highly advise you all to check that video out. So I'm not advising everybody to become a vegan, have this vegan diet and not eat meat and all these sorts of different things. The vegan diet is not for everybody. It's not for, you know, every single body on this planet. But at least try to stay away from the pork and the beef, right? Y'all can do that for me. Stay away from the pork and the beef at least. So number two, keep yourself clean. Eat high vibration foods and avoid tortured meat. So number three, be very specific about what you want. Okay, so we need to be very specific on what we want. Anything that we're trying to manifest, anything we're trying to, achieve or to accomplish, we have to be very, very specific. We have to be detailed in what we want. Just saying that we want a house or we want a car or we want, uh, you know, a happy, prosperous life, it's very vague, right? When we're essentially, you know, saying these affirmations and saying these things, we're essentially communicating to the universe. We're essentially communicating to God, right? And when we're, connected to that energetic grid and we're saying vague, these vague manifestations through our mouth, the universe is not going to know whether what's specifically that you need or specifically that what you want. So we have to be very specific on what we want and what we desire. And I'm going to be going into different exercises that you can do in a little bit. So I'm going to be, explaining a little bit about number three. So we'll get back to number three in a minute. Number four, be alert when opportunities come around. So I like to call these intuitive hunches. So we have to be, intuitively aware of our surroundings. Be intuitively aware of certain things that are coming around our lives. So many different things may come around. Let's say for example, you're looking for a new job opportunity, right? You're stuck at this specific position that you don't want to be in, and you've been, applying for different jobs, applying for different things, speaking to different people. Nothing seems to work out. Nothing seems to go right. But then all of a sudden, you may meet somebody at a business meeting, or you might meet somebody at the coffee shop, or whatever the case may be, and you might have a conversation and the person, later on down the line during the conversation, the person may say that they have an opening position at Google, or they have an opening position at Apple, or they have an opening position at a certain school, or whatever the case may be. And this job aligns with what you're trying to do, what you're trying to manifest, right? This is an example of you to seize the opportunity, right? Whatever opportunity comes up, that's when we start. That's when we should start to put our foot forward. Take those certain steps and to actually seize the opportunities that God is trying to bless us with, right? So there's this old story or this old parable that I'm pretty sure you heard of, right? It's the guy that's on the river or on the water on a sinking boat, right? He's on this boat by himself. He's stranded on this water, and the boat is sinking. And he's screaming, God, 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 please help me. I'm sinking. I'm sinking. God, please help me. Right? So you have this first person who comes to the water, right? Throws a raft into the water. He said, come on, come on. I'm here to save you. He said, no, no, no. I'm here. I'm waiting for God to save me. right? I'm asking God to save me, right? So the guy thinks he's weird, the guy thinks he's nuts and he doesn't believe it, right? So a day later, another person shows up, right? He throws the raft in the water. Right here, I'm here to save you. No, 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 no. I'm here. I'm waiting for God to save me. I need God. I need God to save me. I need God to save me. I'm asking for God to save me. Right? Then the second guy leaves. Third guy comes a day later, throws a raft in the water, trying to save the guy. We're still saying that he's waiting for God to save him. Right? Then he ends up dying. He ends up drowning. Then he ascends to heaven. Right? He meets God face to face in heaven and he says, God, I was calling for you. Why didn't you save me? I kept on calling. I was like, God, 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 please save me. Why didn't you save me? And then God ends up saying, nigga, I sent you three people. I sent you three people to come save your ass. And you didn't even listen. You didn't take the heed. You didn't take the call. You see what I'm saying? So that's just an example of we need to be more. That's why doing, certain things, certain practices, like I mentioned, eating clean, taking care of yourself and just focusing on yourself, right? These sorts of different things can help us basically be in tune with the laws of the universe and help us be more in tune with the law of attraction, right? Cleaning ourselves out from the inside out and to elevate our uh, elevate ourselves to a high degree so we can develop that intuition, to develop that intuitive ability that we all have to notice certain things, to have that awareness, to have a certain awareness to seize on and to take on different opportunities that awaits us at the forefront. So now let's get into certain exercises that I would like to share with you all that are good to reprogram the subconscious mind in order for us to manifest what we want, right? So this first exercise is the morning, noon, and night protocol. So I got this exercise, and this exercise was inspired by the book It Works by RHJ, the famous little red book that makes your dreams come true. If you know what you want, you can have it, right? So this is inspiration from this book right here. I wouldn't even consider this a book. It's like a little pamphlet. It's only 24 pages, but this exercise, I try to do this exercise regularly on a regular basis. It has helped me a great deal, and I like to share this exercise from you to share this exercise with you all from this book. So this is the inspiration behind this exercise, this specific exercise. So this is the morning, noon, and night protocol. So write down on paper or on your phone, in order of their importance, the things and conditions you really want and when you want them. All right. So come up with a list. Right. It could be, however many things that you want to put on there. It could be three things. It could be five. It could be 10. Whatever it is. Write down or put in your phone the order of importance of the things that you want to manifest, or the things that you want. All right. The list may change, over time the list may change, and this just shows progress. This is a state of progress, right? You might want to acquire certain things, and then later on down the line, you may end up changing your mind, or your interest may become different. You might say to yourself, this really isn't important to me. I want to manifest, more important things into my life. So the list is going to change over time, but this shows a sign of progress. So in the order of importance, write down 3, 5, 10 things that you want to manifest, right? So number one, read the list of what you want morning, noon, and night. So the list that you had came up with, whether you're written down on a piece of paper or on your phone, read this list from once in the morning when you wake up, once at noon during lunchtime, and the third time at night before you go to bed. So, two, think of what you want as often as possible, right? So when it comes to this, there needs to be some sort of balance between this. You don't want to think about it too much to where it just clouds your mind and to where you think about it so much that you end up getting a headache, right? This is when you start to put more of an importance on these sorts of different things. When you start to put your manifestations on a pedestal, which creates an energetic blockage, or which creates resistance between you and your manifestation. So there needs to be some sort of balance when it comes to this, sort of thing. So you want to, visualize every now and then on what you want to manifest. Visualize, seeing yourself having these sorts of different things, or visualizing yourself performing the actions uh, of doing these things. How does it make you feel when you manifest this certain car, when you manifest this prosperous life, when you manifest this dream partner, when you manifest this dream job, when you manifest this successful business, when you manifest this uh, you know, extravagant lifestyle, traveling the world. How does it make you feel? Focus on the feeling behind it, right? Not only you achieving these sorts of things and, manifesting uh, different things to your life, how does it make you feel? How does it make you feel within the heart space? How does it make you feel internally? How does it make you feel on an emotional level? That's the most important factor of it all. How it's the feeling motive of it. It's the feeling drive of it, right? When we have a certain feeling about someone, we have a certain feeling about something, it drives us to want to do or want to accomplish a certain thing. It drives us to want to achieve something, or it drives us to, become the best version of ourselves. It's all about the feeling because we are feeling emotional creatures, right? So try to visualize and think about, these sorts of different things as much as possible, right? Because the subconscious doesn't know whether something is real or not real, right? And the subconscious needs proof in order for it to, believe that it's already yours, or to believe that you have already manifested this opportunity or whatever it is, right? So the subconscious acts based on the feeling of it, right? When we think about these sorts of different things, it makes us feel a certain way. It makes us feel happy, right? And then once we start to uh, have those sorts of different feelings, those positive feelings about it, that's when we start to shift in that specific timeline that we want to be a part of. And we, extract the old timeline, or the old paradigm, and shift into that new timeline, and to shift into that new paradigm. And number three, do not talk to anyone about your plan except to the great power within you, right? So a lot of us, we tend to talk too much. We have this problem of telling other people our plans and telling other people what our manifestations are, what we plan to accomplish, what we plan to achieve, what we plan to do this, that, and the third with other people, right? We tell this even with our family members, but I'm here to say that a lot of people around you, you have some people who have their best interest in you, but a lot of people don't have their best interest in you. There's a lot of jealousy and a lot of jealous people going on. A lot of people carrying jealous spirits, right? A lot of people don't have their best interest in you at heart. So that's why it's important for us to keep certain things to ourselves. Keep certain things between you and God, because only you and God knows what's best for you. God only knows what's best for you. So even family can be, backstabbing. Even your family may not have their best interest in you. So you can't be sharing every single thing with everybody, right? Always, move in silence. Move in silence. Always, keep things to yourself to the time being. And then when you feel like you are ready, when things are, you know, when you feel like you are comfortable enough to explain yourself, or to share your experiences or to share your accomplishments or to share your dream visions and share your dream life with the world or with other people, then, so be it. But in the meantime, stay within the shadows, stay underground, keep things to yourself till the time being. So the next exercise that I have is the manifestation or the visualization meditation, right? So for this, when first you need to meditate and see yourself having or doing what you are trying to manifest. Again, we have to be very specific, right? So when we're doing these exercises, like I said, these exercises are not going to work if you are not high, if you are not vibrating at a high vibration, if you're not keeping yourself clean, if you're not being very specific of what you want and not being able to, find the opportunities and have those intuitive hunches. If you're not in tune with these things, if you're not in tune with these specific things I have mentioned right here, then these specific exercises are not going to work. So it's key for you to uh, consider these things first before you get into these specific exercises. So meditate and see yourself having or doing what you are trying to manifest. Again, be very specific. All right. Just like I mentioned earlier at the beginning, we are mental creators. We literally create things within our own mind, right? When we manifest, toxic relationships, toxic people, essentially all this is being manifested in the mind, right? From trauma, from uh, different things that we have experienced within our childhood and our adult life. These things, these things tend to stick to us and carry on in each of our lifetimes, right? That's why it's important for us to do certain things in order for us to clean out everything, to clean out all the toxins, the impurities, the traumas, all the toxic buildup that's being kept within our subconscious mind, because our subconscious mind records everything that we have experienced, everything that we have encountered, everything that we have collected within our lives, right? So in order for us to manifest certain things, we have to clear all that out because we are mental creators at the end of the day. So when you're in a meditative state, actually visualize the experience, actually visualize what you want to achieve, visualize what you want to manifest. For example, if you want to visualize or even want to manifest a house, a specific house, actually visualize what the exterior of the house looks. Visualize what the interior of the house looks, right? Visualizing yourself walking into the house. Visualizing yourself driving to the house, driving into the driveway, driving into the garage, right? When you're getting out the car of the garage, you got your keys, you got the keys to the house, unlocking the front door, walking into the house, actually stepping into the house, breathing in that fresh air, right? Immersing yourself in the experience, walking around, going to the bedroom, relaxing in the bedroom, going to the kitchen, fixing you something to eat, looking outside, in your backyard at the pool, the basketball court, these sorts of different things. Actually be very specific in your visualization, right? When it comes to a car, actually visualizing yourself going to the car lot, walking around the car, visualizing the exterior of the car. What does the car look like on the exterior? What do the tires look like? What do the rims look like? What do the windows look like? What do the doors look like? Going inside the car, what does the dashboard look like? What does this driver's wheel look like? What do the seats look like? What's the color of the interior? What's the color of the roof? The color of the seats? The color of the floors? Right? Be very specific on what you want to do and what you want to manifest and what you want to achieve and what you want to experience. Right? Try to do this, you know, uh, like I said, not too long, but actually from time to time, visualizing yourself when you get the chance. It doesn't have to be in meditation. It could be, when you're out somewhere, when you're out on lunch break at work or, at the house, when you're relaxing at the house. visualizing yourself at least 3 times a day. Visualize yourself being immersed into that reality that you want to manifest. Immersing yourself in that reality that you want to acquire and that you want to experience in your life. Be very specific. Okay, so when you're doing this, you are now creating waves in the matrix. So a lot of people tend to believe that they have no control of their life, they have no control of their reality. They're stuck in the rat race. They have to, work this specific job to pay bills. A lot of people don't realize that they have control of their reality. People feel like they have no control of their reality. They believe that they can't are not able to manifest at a high degree. They don't know the spiritual aspects of it, and they're not aware of the scientific metaphysical aspects when it comes to manifestation because they don't teach you this in school. But the elites know this. The elites know that having, aligning yourself in terms of consciousness, aligning yourself to that specific frequency that you want to immerse yourself in, right? Being in that specific alignment with the natural cycles of nature, being in rhythm and being in tune with the natural cycles of the universe, these sorts of different things, and having your mind, you know, align with what you want to manifest can happen. It takes time, but it will happen, and it can happen if you put your mind to it and you put your faith in your action and your abilities, utilize your creative intuition, utilize your creative abilities to manifest what you want. The elites know this. The elites know about the power of the mind and the power of consciousness. That's why they create this false reality that we exist in. All right, we think this reality is real, but this is a scripted, manufactured play created by the rulers of this world. And we tend to think that everything that happens in the world that you see on the news and things of this nature are real, but they're not. But we have the power, we have the capability to manufacture and to warp and manipulate our reality the best way we see it. So don't analyze how or when God is going to bring these manifestations into fruition. The mind of God works in mysterious ways. God works in mysterious ways. You hear that a lot. In most cases, it will come sooner than you think, right? So when we're putting in the work, it's important for us to be disciplined. We have to have the discipline. We have to practice the art of discipline. Without discipline, we can't get nowhere in life. So we have to have some sort of discipline. We have to put in the work. We have to put in the necessary action. We have to focus on what needs to be done, right? Whatever it is that you're trying to achieve in life. Everybody has different goals and missions and purposes in life. As long as we stay the course, leave the rest up to God, because I mentioned earlier in the Kabbalion, our minds are finite, God's is infinite. So we can't be worrying about how this will come about, how, you know, when we take that leap of faith, what now? We tend to overanalyze things and our objective minds just tend to take over, but it's our job to leave the rest up to God. It's our job to leave the rest up to the universe. No, actually focus on what you need to do. Focus on what you need to do, and God will take care of the rest. God will do what it needs to do in order for you to manifest what you want in your life, right? So we need to just focus on what we need to do, right? The power within you is ready to manifest whatever you want. But are you willing to take the course? Are you willing to take the action? Are you willing to stay disciplined? Are you willing to stay poised? Right? It's waiting on you. The power within you is waiting on you. You just got to take advantage of that opportunity. Right? So there you have it, folks. This is the ultimate manifestation guide. This is, I believe, is my most detailed and structured manifestation video that's currently on my YouTube channel. Hopefully you guys have learned something from this video. Hopefully you've taken some notes. Just putting in the work. Right? These exercises that I have listed on this board, take some time to actually do these exercises. Right? You can do one of the two, or you can do both. But actually, just put in the work. We all have to put in the work. It's not enough to just watch all these manifestation videos and just, take notes and just hope for the best. We have to actually put in the work. We have to actually put in the steps in order for our lives to change for the better. So, like I said, your higher self is waiting on you. It's been waiting on you. You just gotta become aware of it. You gotta become aware of your surroundings, become aware of your situation, right? If you're stuck in, a financial ceiling, if you're stuck in a toxic relationship, if you're stuck in, just the grit and the rut in life, nobody's coming to save you but you. No aliens, no uh family, nobody's coming to save Jesus. Nobody's coming to save you but you. It's your job to save you, and it's your job to save yourself. So, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice? These are the questions you need to be asking and answering yourself. So, hopefully you guys have learned something from this video, and happy manifesting. So, till next time, and always remember, all power resides from within, and always keep the faith because God in the universe is always working for you. Take care, guys, and God bless.